Hello, it's Zecher lemaaseh bereishis time, and today we're going to do a very interesting lizard called the frilled lizard. A frill is something like something frilly, that's around your neck. And Hashem gave this animal this amazing thing. He has this large area of skin that is supported by rods of cartilage that are attached to a small bone behind the lower jaw, and they act just like the ribs of an umbrella. Like when you open up an umbrella and it opens wide. So this frilled lizard, that's when it needs to, it can open it up wide, very wide. It can go almost to 8 to 12 inches across, this frill, and it's so frightening looking. And then it opens up its mouth wide, and it's got all this color in its mouth. So Hashem gave him this in order that's his main protection against enemies. If he can frighten them enough, they'll just leave him alone, or at least they'll be startled enough so he can turn around and run away and hide. So anyway, let me show you this thing. Now this lizard is about 3 feet long, but most of it, 2 feet of that, is long tail. And they live in Australia, and in the sandy, semi-dry, like desert areas in Australia. And they live in trees that have a lot of rough bark, which helps camouflage them well. And then they come down to eat, especially after rainstorms, where they eat enormous amounts of ants and termites. Look at the picture of this frilled lizard. Now, besides ants and termites, they also eat spiders and even some small mice, rats, and lizards. Okay. Now, normally the frill lies folded up on their back. It's just lies folded over the shoulders, sort of like a cape. And then, but when it needs to, it could just open it up. Now, the picture I'm going to show you now, the top 2 pictures, I don't know if you can see it that well because it's black and white, but there's a picture of a frilled lizard with a snake approaching him. And then the next picture, you see that he raises his frill. And so first you don't see the frill because it's just laying there flat on his shoulders. But then all of a sudden you see it. Okay, now, normally when it gets disturbed, it gets afraid, and it's on the ground, he just runs on his hind legs with the frill laid back over the shoulders, with the tail raised, and he runs as fast as he can until he can climb a tree or some other way to find an escape. But unless it's trapped, and it can't get away. So then it turns around, it faces the predator, it keeps his tail flat on the ground, and he starts swaying his body from side to side, and he opens his mouth wide, and inside is colored dark blue with some pinkish yellow around the edges, and it spreads wide its greenish yellow frill. So the open mouth and that spread frill is a warning display. And if the predator ignores it, so then he become very aggressive. He'll step very boldly right towards the enemy. He'll keep his mouth open, and he begins a deep hissing. It's very intimidating. It says that even dogs that are used to attacking bigger lizards than him will retreat before it. And even hawks and these large birds in Australia called kookaburras, also they hesitate before this display. Now, if the predator is not scared off, so then the lizard will take off running as fast as he can without even looking back until he finds some safety. Now, this frill is mostly given by Hashem to this animal, was designed for the purpose we just said, to protect him from his enemies to startle them, so they leave them alone. But they also use the frill for two other things. When they want to get married, they're going to mate, so they display the frills to attract a mate, and that's what they do. And they also they'll bang their tails against the bark of a tree, make some kind of noise, and open and close their frills and bob their heads, all the efforts to find a mate. And when they're territorial, the males, so they will like try to fight each other over a territory. So they also fight by using their frills. They try to frighten each other, the males with those frills. And the last thing is that the Chachma of Hashem is that when the young hatch out of their eggs, it's exactly when their insect prey is the most plentiful and the water is most plentiful. Here's the last two pictures. Also, the previous pictures where they were on termite mounds. That's what they were displaying over there. They were displaying for a mate. Let's go back to those pictures. Those are big termite mounds. Okay. Have a good Shabbos. We love you. Everybody. Bye-bye.